Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're watching an animation about a guy who got stuck in a closet with his crush. This sounds like something straight out of a Disney animation.
I'd love to tell you how I finally managed to begin dating my long-term crush, Britta. You see, I'm not particularly shy, but when it came to Britta, I just lost my nerve.
I feel like everyone's like that for someone. Like, I'm a very confident person, but if I do see someone I like, I do kind of like get a bit shy. Everyone's like that though, like we can all admit that we're all like that.
I don't know what it was about her that made me a mumbling fool. I mean, damn. I could be talking with any other girl or boy like it was no big deal. Then, Britta would walk down the hall and I'd blush and go quiet.
Exactly, it's quite crazy how one person can do that. They literally have that much power. Like, I'm telling you, they're like Dumbledore, they're literally a wizard, they're a witch. They've put like a love potion over me.
It was uncanny. I simply couldn't get over it. It all started back in elementary school. We shared our classes together, and from the first time I saw her, I fumbled.
I love how all these kids look like so amazing in like elementary and primary school. However, me, I looked awful. Like whenever I look at photos of me, even when I was like 13, 14, I was scary. I was literally that type of kid who would have went up to you and bit you. Also in nursery, that's a thing in the UK and like Ireland and like some other places. Basically you go there before you go to school. I bit a kid. I remember I bit their finger and like I got taken into like the kitchen and was made to look at their finger. I've been biting kids all my life.
She was the prettiest girl in school to me, even if we were really, really young.
I feel like they're both like the most attractive people in the school. I went to an all boys school, but like I remember the most attractive boy in my school and the most attractive girl in like the other school like kind of dated. They were the power couple of my year.
She had long brown hair, always combed back in two ponytails. I thought those were the cutest ponytails in the world.
I mean, ponytails look cute from the front, but at the back they look scary. I remember one time I went behind somebody with ponytails and they done it so bad at the back. I'm not even kidding, their scalp looked like raw chicken.
Yeah, I had a big puppy love on her, and I was like, what, 7 or something? It's kind of lame that it took me so long to actually ask her out.
So he's had a crush on her basically his whole life. Like he's had a crush on her for years. I feel like somebody knows if you've got a crush on him. So like she probably does know deep down that like you fancy her. She's just like been waiting for you to like make the first step.
It all happened because both our friends got super tired of seeing us go through this endless will they, won't they scene over and over again. Let me tell you how I ended up locked up in a closet with Britta, my childhood crush.
It sounds like a sketchy title, but I guess we're gonna find out. It's the whole point we're watching this video.
Britta wasn't just pretty. Oh no, she was also super smart and the president of our student council.
So she was basically a girl that every single girl and boy was jealous of. That's how all the stories go, like they're always exactly the same.
I love to see her campaigning for her position every year, smiling at everyone with that big grin on her face. I listened to her proposals to improve the school programs like a million times. Well, I never actually heard any of it. I just used it as an excuse to stare at her without her realizing what I was doing.
Oh, she knows that you're staring at her. Trust me, if you're staring at somebody, they will know you're looking at them. There's been quite a few times whenever I've been out in public and like I can see people looking at me, so like I'll just like not look at them, but like I can see them out the corner of my eye. I can tell they're looking at me.
I get lost in those beautiful eyes of hers. She dressed all prim and proper everywhere she went too, like cute pleated skirts and nice blouses.
Did she wear this in school or outside of school? I swear you're literally not allowed to wear that outside of school. Also, something I don't understand about America is like the uniforms. They don't have uniforms, you're allowed to wear your own clothes. I have like 4 outfits in my wardrobe, so I'd literally be wearing the same clothes every single day.
I don't know what it was about her, or if it was everything she did, really, but I couldn't stop thinking about Britta.
I mean, yeah, you've got a crush on her. That's what happens whenever you've got a crush. You first look at them, you think they're attractive, and then you can't stop thinking about them. Let's just hope that his crush doesn't become like over obsessive, because that's scary.
My mom used to laugh when I spoke about her and thought it was so sweet the way I always had nice things to say about this girl. You know, Mike, you speak about Britta as most boys speak about candy.
I mean, the mum probably thinks it's cute. She's like, oh, my wee boy's got a crush. Like, he's literally starting his life. Thinking about it now, I was kind of forced into a relationship by like my mum and like her friend's daughter. We dated from like the age of 4 to like 9, and then I didn't speak to her ever again. It's been like 10 years since I last spoke to her.
I must have been 8 back then, but this never changed. Mom said I always got the same look whenever someone mentioned it. I'm not sure if it's sweet or creepy, but I couldn't help myself.
Sometimes whenever you speak about somebody in front of somebody who likes that person, their face completely changes. I don't know how to describe it, but you can just tell that it like affects them. And also apparently if you think or talk about somebody who you really find attractive or have like love for, your like pupils widen. I never thought it was true, and then I like looked in the mirror and thought about somebody and my pupils literally went boom. It was crazy.
As long as I had memory, I had always been in love with Britta. We were good friends too. It was just that I was so awkward around her. Whenever I tried to act cool, I ended up making a fool of myself.
And she will know exactly like that you're doing that. Like she'll be able to tell. Do you reckon deep down she likes him back? I mean, the one thing I've got a fear of is becoming friends with somebody and then catch feelings for them and then we date and then like break up and never speak again. I've seen it happen to a lot of my friends and I don't want it to happen to me. Because like if I lose like a friend, I get really heartbroken. It's like, oh my god, I miss you.
My friends made fun of me all the time because of it. Britta lived a block and a half away from me, so I'd walk her home often. We'd talk about anything and everything, but I never ever dared ask her out.
They basically are in a relationship without being in a relationship. Like they're doing relationship things, hanging out, walking each other home. This is like a Disney love story basically unfolding in front of us.
It was as if when it came to admitting my feelings, I just froze around her. I couldn't get past this problem. It was so annoying.
I mean, I know exactly what you're on about. That happened to me with a few boys, and I kind of wish that I did like stand up and say that like I like them, but I feel like they were straight. Like they definitely were. I mean, to be fair, some of them could have been a bit bent. You don't know. Sometimes people give you mixed signals. I low-key hate it, but then I also kind of like it. It makes you want them more, but then like you're also kind of scared to like say it to them. Honestly, if you like somebody, it's just best to like go up and say it straight up.
I mean, if I had been shy around everyone, well, maybe I would have understood it. But it was just when it came to my feelings for this pretty brown-haired girl.
I mean, all of our friends will know as well. Like they can tell if you're getting nervous around somebody. Sorry to break it to you, mate, but they know that you know that they know that they know that you know that they know, but you don't know that you know. Or you don't know that they know, but they know that I don't know what I'm saying. Basically, what I'm saying is that they know.
That I couldn't get over my feelings of self-doubt. I guess I thought she was so perfect that there was no way in hell she'd ever date a guy like me.
I mean, yeah, I understand that. Like, sometimes it's really scary to go up to a really attractive person. A lot of attractive people will date other attractive people, but like sometimes some relationships don't work. I say it all the time. Obviously, to be in a relationship, you have to have attraction. But if they don't have a fun personality, the relationship is not going to work. So that's why sometimes you'll see like really pretty girls with like kind of ugly boys or like mid boys. People are always like, oh, how did he pull her? I can guarantee you it is the personality or maybe the willy size.
I'm not ugly or anything of the sort, and girls flirt with me all the time, but she was just too beautiful, too smart, too everything. And the worst part was, all our mutual friends knew about my crush, and I do mean everyone. It was one of those secrets that all around you are aware of.
Exactly, it's a secret, but it's not a secret because everyone knows, but like a low-key is secret, just not like spoken about. I mean, the girlies definitely speak about it. I know a lot of girls, I understand them very well. They will have spoken about it. I mean, you don't know, maybe she feels that way about you, or maybe like one of her friends feels that way. A lot of times if like the popular girl fancies a boy, her two best friends will also fancy him and want him secretly.
But everyone pretends not to know about it. Come on, man, ask her out already. What's the worst that could happen? My friends would ask me.
I mean, to be fair, the worst that could happen would just be a no and a tiny bit of awkwardness. But I mean, I feel like these people are very grown up for like their age. I don't know how old they are. They could probably just like brush it under the carpet and like continue with life. I mean, one day you're all going to be going off in your own path, so you might as well say it now.
Super annoyed with me always sighing about Britta. She could say no, I'd always reply. To me, that was the worst possible outcome. If I didn't ask her out, then I didn't know if it was possible or not.
Exactly, but if you don't ask her out, then you don't know. Maybe she does feel that way about you. I mean, it could be worse. She could like tell everyone and like laugh at you or like get a restraining order against you. But I mean, she probably isn't going to do that.
I could imagine one day we'd begin dating and then get married.
I feel like everyone thinks about that whenever they first start speaking to somebody. I remember I spoke to a guy for like 2 days, or like not even 2 days, literally one day, and like I was thinking, oh, I definitely want to marry him, have babies, you know, live together forever. And then we never spoke again. I feel like that's just like such a human thing. Everyone does that.
But if she finally found out my feelings for her and rejected me, it was all over.
I mean, you gotta ask her out. Maybe she does feel that way about you. A lot of these animations usually end up with like both people liking each other, like they stay friends. They never really end badly.
Years and years of being in love with someone who'd never love me back, thrown away for nothing. I couldn't face that possibility. I know it sounds super lame, but that's how much I really liked Britta.
Oh, I can completely understand you. Like, you don't want to ask them because you don't want the possibility of them saying no or like pushing you away to happen. It is scary and sad, and it will happen to some people. Like, that is the reality. That is just life, you know. You gotta suck it up and move on. I can guarantee you will move on and like find someone else in the future. Think of it, people you dated in primary school, are they like still together? I'm sure there's a few that'll like stay together and be like the fairy tale. The majority of people will move on with life, date other people, and have like a good life.
Every single time I promised my friends I'd ask her out, the very next day, I'd find an excuse to avoid it.
That is literally me whenever it comes to anything, including YouTube and work. There's been quite a few times where I've literally pulled an all-nighter and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stay up, film videos, and then I literally get into bed and just don't do anything. Or like procrastinate the whole day. I'm filming this video at 10 to 10. I don't know why I'm awake because I was literally up before 7. But I was meant to film this video at like 2 o'clock, but then my dad was in bed because he came home from like night shift. But like, I literally planned to do stuff and then I just like procrastinate the whole day and then I end up not doing it. That is basically me in a nutshell.
Oh, I'm feeling super sick today, I would say. Or maybe, I have this big pimple today. I don't want her to see me like this. So days turned into weeks and weeks into months.
I mean, I understand that, but it's also also like kind of sad. She probably feels the same way, and a lot of girls want the men to make the first move, but then also the men want the girls to make the first move. Maybe you should like get set up in a blind date. That would be so much better. That's one way to sort out the problem.
The right time to ask her out never seemed to arrive, and my friends were growing super impatient. Apparently, they talked to her friends all the time, and she felt the same way about me.
Then why don't you literally just get together? You obviously fancy her, she obviously fancies you. Literally, you two just communicate and get together. I'm telling you, these two friendship groups need to set these two popular people up in a date. It's literally what they need to do.
But that's something neither Britta or I knew. It was like this gossip everyone was involved in, except for the both of us.
Oh, so the friends knew but he didn't know. Okay, yeah, I don't like that because that's happened to me before. Honestly, you should just mention it and be like, oh yeah, we were speaking to one of our friends and apparently she like kind of fancied you. And then that'll like set a light bulb off in his head and then he'll maybe make the first move. It probably seems awkward, but hopefully in the end it'll have like a good outcome.
I have the whole situation under control. I promise, I said over and over again.
I mean, obviously not, because like your friends are literally getting so tired they're like, just hurry up and ask each other out. And I can relate to them, I've seen this happen before.
Finally, our friends got tired of waiting for us to make the first move and made a plan. They were going to force us to be in the same place for a long while, and if we didn't finally ask each other out, then they were going to give up.
Okay, so they're gonna try and plan something, and apparently they planned to lock them in a closet. You could have done 50 billion things and you chose to lock them in a closet together. Are these friends like young? I mean, to be fair, they do seem young.
So one day, my friends grabbed me and began forcing me into the janitor's closet. I tried to fight them, playfully of course, thinking it was just a silly prank. Hey guys, quit it. I have to get to class, I yelled, laughing, but I couldn't win against 5 guys pushing me into a little room.
Oh my god, that poor guy, imagine he's got like claustrophobia, like he literally sees a spider, he's stuck in a closet. Is the girl gonna get like shoved in there as well? Imagine they just like don't speak to each other, they just like stare at each other. Did this happen at break or lunch? Like keep in mind this is in a school somewhere.
They closed the door and locked it behind them. I sighed and rolled my eyes, wondering what they had in store for me. Don't worry about it, we'll be back soon, they yelled through the door, and I rolled my eyes.
So they literally just locked them in the closet and like walked off. These are crap friends, like I'm telling you, these are rubbish friends.
You see, my friends were really big pranksters, so this didn't seem too odd to me. It was annoying, yes, especially since I didn't want to be tardy or get in trouble. However, it seemed I had nothing to do.
What happens if like a teacher walks into like the little office thingy? I remember kids in my school used to always look around them we janitor offices. If you're caught in them, would you get like suspended? Like imagine them two are caught in one. The teacher's going to be thinking something fishy's going on here.
A few minutes later, the door opened, and I was shocked to see Britta being dragged by her friends inside the closet as well. She looked just as surprised as I had been a while ago.
Well, I mean, both of them are now in the closet. All they have to do is now speak. I wonder if it is going to be the Disney romance and if they do get married and have babies and live until like the age of 100 married together.
They threw her in there as well and locked the door behind them. We were both like, WTF is going on?
What's going on? Well, you sir literally locked in a closet. You're locked in a closet with your crush. This is literally every kid's dream. Like, low-key, I wish I could do this. Like, I genuinely do. Like, if I could do anything, I'd do this.
My heart dropped. I felt so anxious, and I'm sure I blushed so hard. I was locked up with Britta, and it made me feel so excited and worried at the same time.
Exactly, like you're literally with your crush, so you like love that, but you're locked in a closet which could have like spiders and like bleach. You don't know the janitor could literally have a dead body in there. Also, are they locked in or are they just like holding the door? What happens if a teacher comes? Like, I'd be having a pure on anxiety attack.
We heard giggling from the other side of the room, and I knew our friends had planned all of this for some odd reason. We kind of awkwardly stood there for a minute in silence, then tried knocking on the door, but no one answered.
Or the friends literally stood outside listening in. I'm telling you, these are nosy friends, but I look-y do want to be in their friendship group.
I guess we are really stuck in here, huh? Britta asked, her brown hair hanging prettily over her shoulders. I guess so, I mumbled, shrugging quietly. So, bit by bit, we began talking, asking ourselves why we were locked up in that closet.
I mean, both of you two know the reason, like, you fancy each other, you know, Just hurry up and, like, kiss, like, I don't know.
We began throwing silly theories around, making each other laugh. I couldn't get over how beautiful her giggles were, and how badly I wanted her to be my girlfriend.
Oh, she can tell. I mean, her friends knew that you fancy her, and your friends knew that she fancies you. Like, you'll be able to tell, like, you've got that connection. Do you ever, like, go out and meet or, like, speak to somebody, and you, like, just feel a connection with them? They can definitely tell they've got one.
We knew there was no point in trying to make an escape, and so we just sat down and continued to chat. I mumbled most of what I said, as I always did when she was around. My heart was pounding in my ears, and I kept telling myself this was my chance.
Exactly, this is your chance. You need to take it. You need to ask her to be your girlfriend. Also, how long are they stuck in this closet for? Like, is it break? Is it lunch? Or the teacher's going to be looking for them? All the other friends are going to be in class, and like the teacher's going to call out the register, and they're not going to be there.
Finally, she looked at me and asked, "Why are you always so nervous around me, Mike?" I wanted to tell her her everything. I wanted to let her know how I felt about her, but all I could do was stare at the floor quietly.
Yeah, that's such a good thing to do. Let's just like not respond to her. I'm not joking, I'd actually do the same thing. Like I'd just be like, like I'd just be like not able to speak. And the worst whenever it comes to situations like that. But then also if like I've got confidence or like I've got the adrenaline, I feel like I'd low-key be good.
Hey Mike, will you close your eyes please? She asked me. I looked up at her puzzled, but nodded. The moment I closed my eyes, Britta kissed me.
Oh my god, this girl is balls. She is a girl boss. Oh my god. Right, yeah, this is where it's gonna get frisky. I mean, we've only got like a couple of minutes left, so like obviously more stuff happens. I hope they don't create a baby in there.
I couldn't believe what was going on. I opened my eyes and smiled. That kiss, sweet and small, sure helped ease my nervousness. It was the confirmation that she did like me, that I had a chance with her. Holding my breath, I kissed her back, and this time, she closed her eyes.
Oh my god, their first kiss is probably gonna be so awkward. I remember a guy nearly knocked my teeth out. I'm not even kidding. He bashed his teeth off mine. It's quite scary, isn't it? Like, it's really intimidating having your first kiss. Mine wasn't fun.
Her lips were so soft and perfect. It was everything I had hoped it would be.
Right, come on, you chillax. Like, literally chill. It's a kiss. A kiss.
So, we started really talking, and for the first time since we met, I could speak to her without feeling incredibly insecure.
I mean, that's amazing, but you now need to tell her that you fancy her, because she'll obviously, like, do the same thing. Maybe she'll say it first, because, like, obviously she's confident, like, she's got balls. I mean, she is the head of the school, she's smart, she's beautiful, she's literally everything every girl wants to be.
I even held her hand and pulled her a bit closer to me. Finally, about an hour after being locked in there with her, I dared ask the question I had been holding in for so many years.
He's been holding in this question for 4 years. I've been locked in the closet for an hour. Did this happen in school? How long is their lunch in my school? Like, our lunch was only like an hour. They're literally stuck in there. Like, why haven't they been checked on?
Britta, would you go on a date with me? I asked. And do you know what she said? Yes, I'd love to.
Oh, so we didn't even ask her out, he only asked her out in a date. That kind of sucks. That's like a letdown. I could never go on a date. Like, dates scare me. Actually, I feel like I would be able to go on one. It's kind of like one of them things where, like, it's like going to school. Like, whenever you start a new school, you're excited and you want to go, but you're also kind of nervous because, like, you don't know what's going to happen. I feel like I've just got, like, a load of nerves and, like, I procrastinate.
We spent the rest of our time there planning out our date. It seemed like a dream come true. When our friends finally unlocked the door, we kissed goodbye and walked away. My friends followed behind me, and her friends did the same with her.
Oh, the lads and the girlies are gonna get the gossip. I remember I used to do this all the time at like a youth club I used to go to. If the two people liked each other and they were like kissing and like doing couple things, like they'd leave each other and then we'd run off and like speak about it. We'd be like, oh my god, fill us in the tea. And unsurprisingly, they're still not together. They broke up after like a month. I'm telling you, these childhood relationships don't last.
So how did it go? They asked me. They all looked so excited, especially after seeing us kiss. I told them everything that happened, and we high-fived like crazy. You finally did it, man. It took you 9 years, but you finally did it.
Oh my god, 9 years? I was thinking it was only 4 years. This guy's had a crush on her since like the age of 8 or 9. So he is around about my age, just like 17, 18. Okay, maybe they're not as young as what I thought they were.
Britta and I went on our first date, and then our second and third and fourth.
And finally, they kiss and fall in love and have babies, get married and then die. It's exactly what I thought was gonna happen. Like, these stories are always the same. They need to make like a crazy plot twist in one of these videos where like she kills him and then she marries his dad and they like run away and have a family. Like, that is a video I'd watch.
We've made it official, and I've already asked her to go with me to prom. I can't believe my girlfriend is really the most gorgeous girl in school.
Oh, well, that's cute. Like, you're in love, obviously, but like, is the relationship gonna last? Is there gonna be like school drama? I'm lucky happy I went to an all-boys school because like obviously there were some couples, but like there wasn't loads. Imagine if you went to a mixed school and like people dated and then broke up and then it was like awkward to see each other. That's something I don't want to be dealing with.
I used up all my savings to rent a limo and a suit. I want this to be the most special night of her entire life. Britta's been my secret crush ever since I was a kid, and now we are a real official couple.
I mean, yeah, they are cute. Like, they are a cute relationship. Not to sound like a Debbie Downer, but I wouldn't want to be treated like that, or like I wouldn't mind it, but like I don't want to be over treated. Me personally, I just love to go on a walk and like do activities. I don't want to be going on a date and going to like all these lovey-dovey things. Obviously, like, yeah, I'll do a few romantic things, but like if you just sit and chill with me, that's basically good enough for me.
We go out on dates twice a week, and I buy her flowers whenever I can. She loves lilies and white roses, and her birthday's coming up soon. I want to give her a ring, sort of a pre-engagement thing, you know? I understand we are super young to be talking about marriage yet, but I want to let her know that I'm really committed to her. After all, I do believe Britta is the love of my life.
I mean, yeah, she is the love of your life, but let's see if the relationship lasts. You could break up in a month, or you could stay together for the rest of your life. Anyways, guys, that was the guy who was stuck in a closet with his crush. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're a subscribe button, and yes, I'll see you all in the next video.